Interview with Freddie Mercury in 1987 on the occasion of his birthday celebrated in Ibiza. What do you want to say?
I'm very happy with my relationship at the moment, and I really, honestly, I couldn't ask for better. So I finally found a niche that I was looking for all my life. It's like I don't have to try so hard. I don't have to prove myself hard. I've got a very understanding relationship. It's just like, oh God, it sounds like it's like I wanted a kind of genuine tranquil after the storm, and I think everybody expects me to have stormy relationships.
Yes.
And, and I was virtually living my own media, as it were, where I actually thought, and in fact, you get caught up in it. So I actually thought that was the way I should be. And so I was trying to force people to have a relationship with me in that way, and I realized that it's so easy. I thought, I have to change for them. It's quite easy. Or you can have a relationship without sort of harping on about every topic or whatever. It's quite easy. But finding that wonderful person is very hard.
So you were kind of living your own headlines then, doing those stormy relationships.
That kind of thing, yeah. I was trying too hard. I was also searching too hard, I really believed that there was no such thing as, I'm not normal, so I can't have a normal sort of life. I can't sort of go to bed at 12 o'clock, and I can't sort of have a steak dinner and probably because and I always thought that you have to be the spokesman, you have to be captain of the ship every time there is any kind of a gathering or whatever. I thought I was working so hard, sort of like performing for everybody.
Yes.
And all that, even off stage, and I just thought, no, you don't have to do it. Let others do it. Just be yourself and be,
try and be run
of the mill. Be run of the mill.
Yeah.
So no, I love it. I just think, yes, I am boring. I'm sorry, I can't entertain you.
Do you enjoy fame, Freddie? Would you miss it?
I know nothing else.
Yeah.
You do? No, really. No.
Yeah.
To me, it's normal. I work for it and I pay for it. So to have my wonderful Japanese garden with all this sort of koi carp, recently bought at such expense. I love it. Because, anybody else, well, if they like koi, if they had the money, they would buy it.
Yeah.
So why not me? Yeah. Yes, I do. To me, it's... I enjoy reaping the profits.
Yeah.
No, really.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's like winning the pools, except I win the pools every day. Probably. So...
Yeah.
And I can if there's anybody else, right, I can say, good luck to him. I'd like it, I just wish everyone to say the same to me. Good luck to him. I've worked hard for money. Nobody's given it to me, dear.
No.
I've earned it.
Yeah.
So it's mine to do what I want with. So if I want a pyramid in Kensington, if I can afford it, I'll have it. Would that be fab? We're getting there. We're getting there.
That would be great.
Because I tell you, I'm not giving any of my stuff away when I'm dead. I'm going to hoard. I want to be buried with all my stuff.
Really?
Yes. Why not? Every damn sou.
A lot of people think, for some reason, that you are. You live in a reclusive, and that you're reclusive, and that you're a lonely man. Yes. You obviously aren't because you have a relationship now. But
I am a bit actually. Yes. But not in a way. Not in the Greta Garbo way. It's not a sort of calculated thing. I like to be. It is a funny thing. It's not alone. I like to be alone with my friends and shut myself off. Yes. I'd hate to be on a desert island. I would loathe that without anybody. But I hate. They have to coax me to go out and sort of volunteer myself into a sort of an everyday sort of. I really have stopped all that. I do like people around me. Yes. Maybe it's a sort of it's a sort of shy sort of outlook. You see, I'm petrified of being alone, which is true. I have to be totally comfortable in a situation before I sort of step into it.
Right.
But that's this other side of me. Whereas I can take numerous risks in the musical element.
Yes.
You see what I mean?
Yes.
That's an area a world I live in, where there are no boundaries for me.
Yeah.
I will take risks in music. But I won't take risks in terms of, say, social life or any other kind of thing.
Freddie, how has the AIDS thing affected you?
Well,
which is a very topical
which is, yes. Well, I mean, I tell you, listen, I've stopped going out, whatever, and to be honest, I tell you, I've almost become a nun. Really, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I thought, it's amazing. I learned very hard way. I thought sex was a very important thing to me. You know, I lived through sex and everything, and now I just realise how amazing. I've just gone completely that way. See, I'm one of those people that can go black to white. You know, I don't like intermediary measures or anything. It's quite easy for me to completely give up. You know, I can give up alcohol at the drop of a hat. And things. Yes, yeah. And yes, it's frightened me to death, and I I've just stopped having sex. Basically.
Have you?
Yes. Yeah.
You've given up sex?
Yeah. I just like titillation now. I'm into titillation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that. Yeah. Yeah, because you must
have
more fun.
Is
it?
Yeah. Yeah. Titillation.
Because you must have had lots of affairs, I mean, through your life.
Yes, well, I mean, it has been quoted and everything. Yes, I've stopped all that.
You've stopped
yeah,
all that.
Yeah. It's a bore.
It's a bore?
Yeah.
Do you think sex is overrated?
Don't say sex is a bore.
No.
This is what I was doing before. You know how you have phases? You know, it's like, you know, people go through phases. And of course, I mean, I have a very good relationship, and I just want to... Before, of course, I was very greedy and everything, and all people are greedy. People always want something more than... To me, sex was fun, and it was, you know, there was a lot of... Well, I was extremely promiscuous. Well, that's true. But I've stopped all that because, I mean, practicality came into it. Now you weren't talking about it.
Yes.
And you know, and I'm also an old bird now, dear. So, and I just thought, you know, and the word solace came into it. Yeah. And so, I mean, you can't say, yeah, you have a life of solace and go around fucking half the world. And so it's amazing. And so I've come in, and I don't miss it. I really don't. To me, when I was sort of, it was like a high. So everything I did, I mean, there was sort of, everything was open to me. So in terms of music, this, that, it was to me, sex was a very integral ingredient to what I was doing. Mm. So it was a very major factor of a lot of things I did. But I mean, I would never have sort of thought, oh no, sex and nothing else. You know, no. So it was all these things that were, and I was living by them all. Yeah. So they were all okay, and I was living them to the full. Mm. So I mean, okay, it was excess in every direction. Fine, you know. Mm. Yes. And that means not all these sort of so-called heavyweights like, you know, drugs, blah blah. It was also music. You see. Yeah. I had all that, so I was weighing them all together, and so I was living what one would call a very full life in every direction. Yes, why not?
Do you ever worry that you could end up lonely, rich, and that you could end up a lonely, rich old man when you're 70?
No, because I've answered that before. Because I will be dead long before that. I told you.
Do you think so? Why do you think that?
Because it's so boring to be 70.
Would it be?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I can answer that when I am 70, if you're still around, dear.
Why should I be?
Because I won't be there. Oh, darling, I'll be dead and gone, dear. I'll be fucking starting a new life somewhere else, dear. Yeah.
You mean you don't expect to make old bones? Is that
no, actually, I really don't care.
You don't care?
Really, no. I don't really care. I don't have any aspirations to live to 70.
No.
Really?
No.
Really. And I don't sound sort of morbid.
No.
But I mean, I know I'm 41, and 70 is a long way away, and I don't give a damn. And as far as I'm concerned, I mean, this is nothing. I have lived a full life, and if I'm dead tomorrow, I don't give a damn.
Yeah.
I live, you know, I really have done it all. I really have. I love the fact that I make people happy. That is, and in any form, you know, that I make them happy, or even if it's half an hour of their lives in any way that I can make them feel lucky, or make them feel, or bring a smile on a sour face. That to me is worthwhile.
What drives you you on? I mean, you're rich, you're famous, and you don't need to work. What drives you on?
At this very moment, it's two wonderful names, and that is Montserrat Caballé. And I think it's like, it really is a shot in the arm, and all those cliches. I think it's something that sort of came so, it wasn't calculated, you know, it was something that just sort of came rocketing out of the sky, and just fell upon me.
Yeah.
And so now I've just sort of, it's sort of enveloped me, and I can think of nothing else, to be honest, so that's what keeps me going. No, it's fabulous. It's something that, because I haven't quite finished the project or whatever, and I think it's sort of, it's all bubbling under. We're sort of still doing things, and there's so much scope and so much life and energy in this that, and it's very early days. So I mean, I'm just going by this. There's so much to look forward to, as far as I'm concerned. So I'm going on one aspect as a work thing, and the other thing is totally in awe.
In awe of her?
In awe of her, and the whole thing is actually taken off. So I mean, I'm sort of, every now and again I pinch myself thinking, am I actually doing this? Is this actually happening? And the other thing is that I think, yes, it's happening, and so you better make sure it works. It all started, I think you know the story, I'll be sort of brief, is that I mentioned the fact that I would like to sing with her, and thinking nothing of it, and about a couple of months later she called me and said, I'd like to do something, let's see what happens. I flew off to Barcelona, so I didn't see her. And in between that time, I think, I thought, my dear, I had a feeling, I said, I'm not going to just approach her and talk it over, because I mean, you just can't do these things. I thought I must sort of bring to her a little idea of what she might be getting into, and in terms of music, because it was the music that was what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So I think that was the right thing to do, because otherwise it would have been trying to explain things musically is so much harder. So I just wrote a couple of pieces. I wrote them with Mike Moran, you know.
Yes.
And played her a couple of pieces, which she immediately took to, quite readily. And that was how it sort of started. Because, I mean, she did. I'm talking about different characters. I mean, she laid it down the line. She just said, look, I'd love to do something, and we're two musicians, and if it doesn't work out, she said she's quite outspoken, and she'd quite readily say, look, it's not working, let's call it a day. So she was quite prepared to do that, and she told me that. And I was quite prepared to sort of accept that. And ever since that day, I mean, it's just like sort of a real turning point. I mean, a proper turning point in my career, as it were. Because she has took to me in such a way that I just think, and I just keep being floored by it, I just think, my God, I can't believe it. Somebody of her ilk, and of her stature, and of her sort of world.
Yeah.
I just hope the pieces are right. I mean, she's just ready to sing anything, at the moment, because I mean, she's sort of keeps telling me that she's sort of found another sort of a new lease of life, and sort of this sort of newfound freedom.
Yeah.
Things. Those are her own words. I just hope everything comes. And the thing is that I'm working on it in a way that I don't give a damn about whether it's success. Of course, well, I do. I mean, sorry, I should say. I mean, I'd love for people, but I mean, I'm not going to sort of fall into a trap where I think that I have to sort of musically put something that's commercially accepted or accepted by. Because I mean, how do you do it? I mean, whose fans? Do you see what I mean?
Yes.
It's going to be her fans and my fans.
Yeah.
Oh, they buy such totally varied product. So what do you do? And the last thing on my mind was to try and sort of bridge that gap, saying we must put a little element of me in that way.
Yeah.
I just want the songs to take over the whole thing. So I mean, if it means that suddenly it's totally purist opera, and if that comes across and she wants to sing it, I would do that, and even foregoing my own voice. But what she does want to do is that she loves. She said to me today on the phone that she loves the way our voices sound together. She said, yeah, she did. So,
why did you want to do it, Freddie?
Well, it's something that, I mean, I thought, it's something that I always wanted to do, but never thought that it would arise. And it just came about. That's what I'm saying. It was just, I was planning to do a solo project, my second solo project, as it were, and I thought, well, chance come where I should come up with another album. And I really didn't want to do another sort of album, a solo album and just a bunch of songs. I wanted it to have, this project to have some kind of bearing, something different, not just a bunch of songs that you record and release.
Yeah.
Well, and I really hadn't put my mind to it, whether it sort of formed a musical, it had to have another sort of stamp to it. Something that spearheaded the damn thing, whether it be anything.
Some individual.
Yes, something different from another boring studio album, really. That just happened. No matter how good my songs were, just another bunch of songs.
Yeah.
I wanted to have another sort of, call it concept, call it... it had to have another standpoint for me. Yeah, something worthwhile, and so, and I was sort of looking for ideas in that direction, and suddenly this combined to completely swallow me up. It was like a tidal wave, And the worst thing was, if anybody says rock opera, because that's like, what was it? I'll just tear all my hair out.
Yes.
Because it's not a rock opera. But although those terms seem to signify what we're doing, because I'm rock and roll.
Yes.
That's about as Spartan as you can get.
Yes.
But as far as the music we're doing, is something I can't myself label, because it's just happy music, something that we've
happy music.
Yeah.
When you reach a point like this, Freddie, in your life, when you've achieved so much, do you feel fulfilled? You'll be 41 on Saturday. Do you feel fulfilled, or how do you feel?
At this moment in time, I feel elated. I do, because it's like, if ever I could say to anybody who's about to give up or anything, that it's amazing how there is something still at the end. There is. Here comes another cliche. Light at the end of the tunnel. You'd be amazed. You just have to sort of try and stretch yourself, and try and sort of, even though you've been sort of, you say, oh my God, it's up to you in the end, and you'll be amazed what the human being can do. It can happen. It can happen. I think my life is changing at the moment because of all this sort of this musical. There's a very heavy musical growth. At the moment. And what's it now? I'm just, I'm at the moment, darling, I'm smiling from my arse to the arse to elbow, dear.
No, but
I do actually. I sometimes sit at home and I sort of sit there, like a cat. Like I was just going to say, like just swallow the canary, thinking, oh dear, would a lot of people like to be in my shoes right now. Initially, when we started, we had our own thing to do, and we were so sort of, apart from being, we were so stubborn about it, to be honest, that we just wanted to do just our own thing. We were so, which is a good thing to do, because it was like we were letting people know that we were a thing to be reckoned with, and all that. So we had, and also we had all these ideas. It's I don't think people could, to be honest, can make it by doing sort of cover versions all the time. I think it's wrong. To show originality and things like that. And I just thought that I think the time had come where I wasn't scared to sort of break out of that mold. A lot of people have done cover versions before, but with Queen, it's always been a sort of. I think the factor is that we are so prolific within ourselves that I'd feel that if I ventured into a studio with Queen and said, look, I'd like to do a remake of a certain song, they would say, oh, well, he's drying up, and because they've got, tons of songs. So I think that kept us going. So we always had to come up with really original
material.
Stuff. Yeah, material. But now that sort of things on my own, and we sort of, made a pact that we can go out and do things solo, and that doesn't mean that the Queen of dropped dead. No. And this, I just had this sort of song in my head, and I just thought it'd be lovely to sing, because it's like a singer's song, and it's wonderful to sing, and because it's somebody else's, it doesn't matter. And I thought, I'll have a go, basically. And because we all, having a shower and everything, you sing other people's songs and everything. But I just thought, I'll put it to tape and see what happens. So it was a very sort of impromptu sort of start, and then it's come to this, and I just thought, I'll take it a bit further and make it as bring it out as a product of mine.
Do you feel that you have been? You said you felt you were reliving your life. Do you feel you've been the big pretender?
Basically, it's what the song really says. It is a very sort of one-to-one basis about that he's pretending because she's gone, but he's still pretending that she's still around. Basically, that's
yes.
But I thought that you could sort of take it a lot further, just in the word pretender.
Yeah.
So that pretends, and for me, the way I'm doing these bits is that. It's tongue-in-cheek, not to take everything too seriously. That all these sort of visuals and these sort of these images that I portrayed over the years is a kind of pretense, because there's no way that I was real on the stage. These are I wore costumes and I sort of put myself into different atmospheres and different characters. But underneath all that, there is a real me, which so I just thought, why not? I've been pretending all this time, doing all this stuff, wearing bananas on my head, coming on the people's shoulders, wearing glitter, doing this, doing glam, wearing, wearing. It was all a kind of thing, and it's a kind of pretense, yes. Whereas underneath it, I'm still, a musician.
Yeah.
And so I thought I bring it up to in that level where all these sort of costumes, where a lot of people took it so seriously, where I didn't do a damn. I just thought, my God, and they read far too much into it.
Yeah.
I just thought that this is a nice way of sort of covering this whole sort of era of mine, we call it, and say that, look, it's just been a bit of fun. Actors don't, if they portray somebody, they don't become those people, they go back and do something else.
So if you looked in the mirror and reflected on the true Freddie Mercury, who is he? What is he?
I think I told that before. I just think, I think quite a sort of... I'm quite a chameleon, and I change, I have moods, and I think it's a combination of a lot of sort of characters that make up a person anyway. I go into my moods. I think over and about this, I'd probably say I'm a sort of a person of extreme, because I can be very soft, but that makes me that much more tenacious, and it's like something trying to get out of me, so that I can actually. When I'm off stage, I calm down. I become a very different person. I research, gather lots of energy, gather lots of information, and then I just use it to. So there's, in a way, there's no sort of half measures. I'm hot and cold, and I think I'd like to be that way. So, so that what I'm gathering, I gain momentum, and I do all. And then when I actually know when I want to release it, it comes across like a tidal wave, and then there's a lull.
Yeah. Yes.
But I'd hate to take that back home with me.
Very good. Freddie, do you feel would you say you're a difficult person to live with, or not?
Oh yes, I think we all are, to be honest.
Do you?
I think so. Well, I think I am.
I don't think I am.
Well, you'll be surprised, because it's not for you to say it.
No.
The only way you can find out whether is the other person or other persons.
Yes.
So I think that kind of thing. It's not up to you. I think I'm not perfect by no means, but I think I live within in a fair way. But that doesn't mean anything, because there are lots of different outlooks on how people behave and everything. But I think I give whoever I'm living with, I give people a fair chance. And sometimes too lenient. Maybe that's my fault. Do
you think so?
I think so. Yeah.
If somebody went off to somebody else.
I'm a very possessive person.
That's what I want.
Yeah, which I am. Yeah, no, I am.
Yes.
But then you see, I want my cake and eat it too, which is what everybody wants.
Yes.
But I am. Yes. I think in terms of that kind of thing, I can. Yes, I can go to great lengths of trying to be
loyal.
Loyal. Yeah. Just to prove a point. But then once, if But the moment I find somebody's betrayed me, I go the other way, and then they'll find that I'm very hard to live with them, because then once I'm betrayed, I'm an ogre. I'm an ogre to live with. You know?
Yes. You never seem vulnerable. Have you ever cried, Freddie?
Absolutely, of course I have.
Yes.
Cried rivers.
And if so, what makes you cry?
Lots of I seem to sort of. I think everybody cries. And I'm very hard on the exterior, but very sort of, you know,
soft-scented.
Absolutely, yeah, like a chocolate. Something out of Black Magic. Yeah.
What kind of things would make you cry, though? Relationships?
Sometimes I think it's a kind of stress factor overall from lots of different areas, and I seem to sort of like build them up, and then it's like a welling of or swelling of all these ingredients that build up, and then I have to just I burst into tears. I do this. I go into a complete and then I'm sort of it has to come out. So it's like a balloon that bursts. So I mean, I feel that I seem to sort of take everything and I sort of build it up, and then they sort of seem to rise, and then I sort of, it's like that, and when I've got it to like fever pitch, somebody just has to prick the balloon, and I just go, that's when I cry, and apart from that,
explode. Do you feel fulfilled, totally fulfilled in your life now? You've reached 40, you've had incredible success.
Good question. I was thinking that when I was having a pedio, because I thought you might come to the. No, it's a very funny thing. I'm very happy with what I've achieved. It's like I know that there are a lot of people who think, okay, now I've got where I want to work, because I have enough money, I have success, adulation. You know, what do you want?
Fame.
Yeah, exactly. So I have all that, and I think, and I look back, I say, well done, my dear. I say, you know, good luck to you, that you did it yourself. And now I think I've come to they're not crossroads, but I've come to sort of like another sort of phase in my life where I think, look, I still want to keep achieving the kind of success that I have in this format, but I think, look, I think now I have the time and the capacity to actually venture into areas which I would never dare, because it would like be harmful to my career or whatever. Things that so now I'm doing those kind of things, but I think I don't really want to do that as a benefit. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
I don't want it to be a gain in my own, but it's for something, I believe that I want to sort of try different things, walk a tightrope, live a knife edge, and do things where I can fall completely flat on my face. But I know that I don't. To me, if it's harmful to my career, so what? Nobody can take away what I've already achieved. They can only say, okay, look, he's full flat. Do you know what I mean? Whereas before, there are things where I still wanted there was this growth process of my career or my beliefs where I didn't want anything to hamper it by doing anything. I wanted it to. There was a kind of. Now I feel that there is an acceptance which I like. It doesn't mean I'm going to sort of forget that idiom to do certain things where.
Take more risks.
Yes, not for the sake of taking risks. It's something that I want to do things. I don't want to sort of end my life just being a rock and roll star.